So last video we went on how to properly script and storyboard your future projects, but now it's time to actually get behind the camera. Today we're going over how I filmed my secret project, different shots that I had, and most importantly, how I was able to communicate his story. Involve your filmmaking today, and let's get started. First off, we're going over the A-roll. If you don't know what A-roll is, it is the main video or audio source. So in the A-roll, I had him sit down in his furnished basement, and I had him sit in front of this cool vinyl collection that he has in the back of him. I wanted to keep that cool kind of vintage aesthetic vibe, and also for lighting, I always bring professional lighting, but for some reason I just never need to use it. What we ended up doing is we turned off all the lights and he had a few candles and lamps around him, and it created this cool kind of eerie vibe that I felt worked well. It wasn't too bright, it wasn't too dark, it was like in that perfect medium. For the angles, I didn't do anything too complex. I pretty much just had him at a straight on angle, and then I also moved the camera to the left to get a nice profile and have some of his guitars and other stuff like that in the background. I like to follow the rule of thirds. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically the composition of visual images in order to communicate a story. So I didn't want just plain straight on. I wanted to show a lot of depth in what was going on. This isn't technically A-roll, but I filmed him jamming out on the guitar, and what I'm planning on doing is using that audio for the background music. But I didn't edit the video yet, so I have no idea. So if you guys want to figure out how I end up editing this final project, then stay subscribed and tune in for Friday's video. Moving on to B-roll, this is where the conversation actually gets interesting. First off, we went into this kind of park area. I filmed in this exact location last year, and I debated on changing up the location, but I feel like it just worked so well, and that's kind of like a staple for if, you know, we do continue to make more videos after this. So what I had him do is I had him walk into frame, put down his guitar, take it out, and then I just filmed him jamming out again. And obviously I switched up different camera angles as he was playing, so I got different perspectives, and I was easily able to change things up in case I didn't like a certain shot. I originally planned for this to be in the beginning of the film, but honestly, I have no idea. That beginning shot was kind of the only thing that I really planned out. I mean, obviously I wrote a storyboard, so I had an idea on how I wanted certain shots to add up, but I also just wrote a shot list when I came over. The main purpose of this B-roll was to document. I didn't want to script this out too much or plan out the shots too far in advance, and even though I did write a storyboard, like I said, I do want things to flow naturally. And before anything, I just wanted to document the process. You know, I don't like making this production feel like it's work. I don't like making it feel like it's staged or forced. So I just kind of let him do his thing. For example, there's a part of the script where he goes into his creative process, and we filmed some B-roll of him literally writing a song outside, just kind of chilling out, and it just represents how natural, how peaceful that entire process is to him. I didn't want it to distract the story, I wanted to enhance the story. Finally, I have scene cuts. So you're probably wondering, what the hell is a scene cut? And I'm gonna keep it real, there's probably some technical name for it, but I don't know what it is, so you're gonna have to bear with me for this part. There are certain parts in the script where I felt like the A-roll wasn't giving it justice, and I felt like there needed to be an extra clip for him to explain in more detail. So again, going back to the creative writing process, in the A-roll you see him talking about it a little bit, but then I decided to, you know, completely change up the camera. Again, what I wanted this video to be was a documentation of his creative process, of his songwriting ability. So I wanted this to have like a day in the life kind of vibe. So outside of the A-roll, I filmed a separate clip of him explaining his entire creative process, his journals, you know, what songs he has written, and just kind of his mental state when he's thinking of new songs to create. I also remember adding in this part where I asked him what his influences are, and he goes literally behind his vinyl collection and pulls out records that have influenced his music style or even influenced him to start in the first place. Yes, standard interviews can be great, but I think there's something so cool and special about, you know, just sitting down, explaining in a standard interview, and then cutting to him, you know, actually having fun, doing what he's talking about and putting it into action, and that's what I really wanted to showcase. Also, I want this film to enhance his musical career. I want people to really get engaged into his story, and I feel like that will be an amazing way for them to do that because, you know, it's not like a regular interview. It's not him sitting down, there's like some B-roll going about it. It's like a literal cut of him explaining in detail about his process, his life, and just how his mind of a musician works. That's kind of what I wanted to document. As a creative, I know how crazy life can get, and I know all the weird things that I think of in my mind, so I'm trying to capture that same story in other people and just get a different perspective in the artistic world. I know this video is kind of all over the place, but I promise you, if you guys stick around for Friday's video, it's going to make a lot more sense when I edit this bad boy to discover not only how to change your editing game forever, but to also see it, the final result on how this entire film came together. You guys already know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe, support your local filmmaker. Leave a comment down below if this video helped you. You know, if you are still confused on some things, you know, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll try my best to respond to you. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay tuned for Friday's video, and yeah, stay safe.